Turn it down. Hey, shalom, shalom. Call halal. You have Bashim Yahshua, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles at the S. Salutations to the elect, men, women, and children that believe are the 1/3. Also, I'm gonna quote on Philippians 4. All things work together for the good for those who love the Lord, called according to His purpose. So, it be times, we catch hell, we go through things in this life. And in the process of going through it, you be overwhelmed and stressed, even with the understanding. Because, when you actually, like Jacob's trouble, right? We got a thought of it, right? But when we actually going through Jacob's trouble, it's different from like actually, getting down. If you go to the gun range, you shooting at paper, but actually shooting at people and they shooting back, that's a different ball game. So a lot of times, even, being in the truth with the understanding, with the faith, and that's how we know these people out here in the world, they ain't gonna make it. They don't got the name, they don't got the faith. Hey, sometimes you might even need a brother. I'm talking about brothers with the faith to, help you stay strong or snap out of it, or get back on track. That's what brothers for. But all things work together for the good for those who love the Lord, called according to His purpose. So it'll be times where you think like, But later on, the Lord can have that turn out to be something in your favor later. That where you like, oh, case in point, I was thinking about this when I was going through. So in New York, I think it was like 2018. Yeah, about 2018. I'm arguing with Eve, the Ephraimite I was dealing with at the time. So I think I threatened to fuck the cat up or some shit. I was bugging. I wasn't gonna fuck the cat up, but I made it look like I was, right? But I gave it a damn cat anyway, right? So she's arguing, so she left, right? So she like, I'm gonna get my she said it's about time you meet my brother. I never met the nigga before. She always kept him away from me. I think in the sense that he was a nigga, one of them street niggas that try to fly right. And I was in the truth, and I hate niggas, and she knew that. So I never met the motherfucker. So she said, all right, it's finally time you meet my brother. So, me being, pride and arrogant, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll be here when the nigga get here. When you arguing with Eve. So when she gets back, so she live on top of a police station. So she ain't never called this motherfucker. She went to get the police. But, she just told them she want me, like, to leave. Which she really never said. But, she said she coming back with her brother. So I probably would have left. She said, I just want you to go. Just go. Right? So I hear like walkie-talkies and shit. So I'm like, oh shit, this bitch came back with the police. So, and by the way, if a bitch call the cops on you, she trying to kill you, especially being Jake, a young black male. That's a good way to get your ass taken out. Because, the police, they trigger happy when it come to us. So, but one of them was cool, one of them wasn't. So, the one that wasn't, so I took her phone. He was like, you got a phone? I pulled the phone out and gave her a phone. I forgot why I took her phone. They gave her a phone back. They was like, all right. So I'm like, all right, what it. So they never said like, all right, you gotta. She wants you to leave or no shit like that. So this motherfucker, I put a curse on this cop. You know, the short bald head one. The other taller one was cool. But I guess he was so-called cool, but he was trying to smash her afterwards. According to her, you can't believe shit these fucking women say. Anyway, this motherfucker bring up like all types of charges, fucking robbery, fucking deadly weapon shit. I forget. Maybe y'all can look it up. The arrest probably still there. There's some shit there. It was like mad shit they brought up. So the shit wound up getting thrown out or whatever. So in the process, they suspended my driver's license as far as to drive taxi. So in order to drive in New York, you need something called the TLC license. So, and they wasn't supposed to do that because it was like an allegation and she ain't had no bruises, nothing like that. So, these motherfuckers just brought up charges. I was released like in 2 days or whatever. So when I went to court and shit for it, they suspended my employment at the time. So I was out of work for like fucking 2-3 months dealing with this shit because they was trying to get her to come to court and they was calling her like trying to get her to say I raped her before or some shit because they was like have he ever raped you before? They was like no. She was like no. Then she was like they tried to put it in the sense of did you ever want to have sex? And he like took it or like not took it, but you know how your girl, you know how you know no stop or like shove your hand off, but you kind of like this is an Israel thing. You kind of like like seduce her and she give in, some shit like that. And they was like, have you? And she was still like, no, because she ain't really want me. She just wanted me to leave at the time. So they wound up booking me or whatever. So I went there. So the shit was over with. My license got reinstated. The shit got thrown out. So later on in life, like, which is now, these motherfuckers text me like, yo, New York City got a $140 million class action lawsuit. So I don't get the whole $140 million, but it's with mad drivers ranging from like 2005 all the way up to like maybe like 2020 or some shit. So they did this shit to mad people, suspended their employment without a conviction. And it's you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So a lot of people, some people who had longer waits and shit like that. So they like, yo, you got some free money. With these suits and shit, it's gonna take some time for the shit to come or whatever. And I've been through this rodeo before. A lot of time that shit come later on when you least suspect it. You be done forgot about shit. And they be like, oh, you got something in the mail or like some shit like that. Or they call you like, hey, come pick up your check. You be like, what check? Who the hell is this? What check you talking about? Some shit like that. So, but the point is, everything's in the Lord's hand, nothing guaranteed. But the point is that, all things work together for the good. You know what I mean? So even though you think that is bad, it could turn out for your actual good. So the Lord could have you go through some shit to throw you a fucking, to boomerang a blessing to you later. Like, all right, I'm going to put you through I'm going to put the spirit on her to not get a brother. And which I'm glad she didn't like get a brother because, with women with pride and egos and shit, that wouldn't have been good, for neither of us. So she said, you know what, I ain't gonna get my brother. Because she said it. I think we argued again. Like, we didn't argue a lot, but enough. I was like, oh, whatever happened to your brother? You bitch or whatever, fussing with her. She like, oh, you glad I didn't get my brother because he would have killed you or some shit like that. So she was like, I didn't get him because I didn't want him going to jail and I didn't want him, you in the hospital. Some shit like that, which was good wisdom. Because that damn sure probably would have happened. Or vice versa. Right? Then, so she got the police. So the police came, they brought up the charge. But the Lord put the spirit on all this to play out the way it did. So now, he like, all right, 2-3 years later, 18, what the fuck is this? This is 24. So 18 all the way, 6 years later, I'm a boomerang, but I probably don't get this shit to 26 or some shit. How these fucking courts be running, especially New York courts. They courts is back the fuck up. I used to love fighting tickets out there because they'll reschedule you a court date fucking 9 months from now. You'd be like, oh, you know what I mean? And then the lawyer put it off in fucking 9 months. So before you found guilty on some shit, that should be like 2-3 years before they fucking really catch up with so many people. And that's Babylon for you, But that's a quick testimony, man. So all things work together for the good for those who love the Lord. And you love the Lord, what? You feeding the sheep, you keeping his commandments, and you praying, and you got faith in the prophecies, right? Being brotherly, So that's called according to his purpose. And you know what? I used to hear that was a super saying in church, coming up. I used to hear that scripture all the time. But you know what's crazy? Nobody never broke it down. I kind of thought I knew what it meant, but I fully don't know. It fully didn't come. Like a lot of scriptures, church, you hear in church don't really fully come home to you in the truth. And even in the truth, these scriptures don't really boomerang back until you experience something or until certain things play out in your life, it fully come home. And really, then certain scriptures probably really don't come home till we get in the kingdom, or till Jacob's trouble happen, or till we on them chariots, on them ships. So, hey man, so yeah, that's something to meditate on. All things work together for the good for those who love the Lord, called according to his purpose. So with that, man, I'm up out of here. Sayonara, shalom. Yeah, but shalom.